Hello and welcome everyone. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've been enjoying 5.4 so far. I hope it's been good to you. Geez, this is my second time doing the intro because we were going to do this little role quest before we started the MSQ and dive straight into the MSQ, and I was basically going to make it one video, and then chat was good enough to point out to me that it's actually a little bit beefier than perhaps I anticipated. So, before we do the 5.4 MSQ, we are here hanging out with our friend Silva, aka Ciela, aka the Shadowkeeper. Is that a spoiler? Is that a spoiler for this one? Maybe that's a spoiler for this one. I assume that, like, the previous complete role quest is a prerequisite for this one, right? No? I think it probably is. But that's what we're doing. So, let's do it. And man, spoiler for Eden, I guess, those of you who haven't done Eden's Promise yet, but I was so stoked to see Silva here having a cameo in Eden. So, I guess to put it into context, right, the dog that we fight, the Shadowkeeper, that is Silva. That is basically Silva's, final form that she takes in order to fight Ardbert and his crew. And we had like a little bit of a hint that she had this sort of power. Since 5.0, the gnolls in Lakeland, those little, humanoid like wolf creatures, they are or are believed to have been former elves of Lakeland that were transformed into that form by the Shadowkeeper. So she already has this sort of like werewolf power established, which is really interesting. So when I saw the trailer and I saw the wolf pulling that sword out and I realized it was in Laxon Loft, I was immediately like, yo, how's Silva getting here? So good. So good. Anyway, I love Silva. I love her very much. I love her so much. If it isn't Ethys, loitering about the stairs just like any old day. And here I was worried you'd gone back to your world for good, and I was too late. It's just that I've been thinking about the crystals belonging to the Warriors of Light. I hear they ended up with you after you lot defeated the Virtues. I assume you have Ardberts as well? No, I do not. Oh, did we give it to Seto? Or did we just show it to him? No, we did give it to him. Indeed, that does seem appropriate. His bond with Seto is deep and enduring. As for the others, I had hoped you might be persuaded to leave them in my care. Oh? It's only right that they, like Ardbert, should accompany you on your journey to set this world back on its proper course. Yet, you now have a home you must return to. Well, the first is theirs. After all they did to keep it safe, they deserve to be here to see what its future holds. Yeah, I think it's appropriate that they would be left here. Makes sense to me. Oh, don't make that face. I know it's a big decision, but it needn't fall entirely to you. There are others here who care for the Warriors of Light as much as you do, aren't there? I don't recall whether Silva knows that we have rejoined with Ardbert. You see why I work here? Folk are always in reach when I need them. Well, hello, Gyot. Look. No, that's some. Now, okay. Before I get into Gyot again, for those of you who haven't watched other videos where I voice Gyot, yes, I know she's a female, but she's also a dwarf, alright? So with that said, now that's some damn fine ale. How many should I order for you? You know you ain't much of a drinker, so 6, 7? What? You want to help decide the fate of Lamit's crystal? And the others too? Does this place have any bigger tankards? Well, if you insist. Ulrich owes me drinks, plural, so I'll make sure he joins us. Maybe find Granson while I'm at it. You go on away with Serig and Tainor. Order around while I'm out, you hear? Oh, we're actually going to get to hang out with all of them together. That is so interesting. Man, I really love that these characters hadn't just, like, fallen by the wayside once you'd done those quests. Hey, little Tainor. Yacht seems excited. Should I be concerned? Hey, Tainor, I heard you had, like, a pretty big role in Final Fantasy 16, according to Reddit and YouTube conspiracy theory videos that I may or may not have actually made and perpetuated myself. But I'm moving up in the world, eh, buddy? Although, from what I hear, it might be a bit of a short-lived role. Hey, Toasty, mate, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Good to see you, Ethys. What did you say that has Giot so worked up? Oh yeah, Serig kind of looks like the other guard, doesn't he? A second icon of fire? That's impossible. No? You got a Unukalhai Rosfield in the E4 party last night? Nice. The crystals, eh? That does sound like a conversation worth getting everyone together for. Did Lou really promise to pay for Giot's drinks? That's a disaster in the making. Not just hers. Rounds for the lot of us. Might be that the lad has a few things to learn about coin and the scarcity thereof. Still, I'll not turn down his generosity. Go and tell the barkeep we'll be needing food and ale for the table. Fine. Please try to exercise some restraint. I'll not carry you back to the room again. That's true, there is only shot, but... Here we are. How much of a head start did you get? Should I ask him to bring out the cask? I reckon we should hear Ethys out first. Thank you, Goomy. Thank you. So you're telling me that the barmaid was one of Neobear's companions, not to mention the Shadowkeeper, and from a different world? That's laying it on a bit thick. Wait. Really? Okay, I mean, I guess we trust these guys. I guess these guys are probably going to end up being the first equivalent of the Scions now, or at least of the Scions B team, I guess. But I would, I don't know. I don't know if I would have told them. It certainly raises questions. Quite, such as how she remains her youthful visage. Not that. I had my suspicions about her. The other night I was at the counter quaffing me ale, having a grand time, and next I realise I'm outside without a guilt to my name. It ain't the first time. Could only be the power of the Shadowkeeper. That face. Hold on. It's just so good. Okay. Yeah, right. Jeez. If Ethys says it's true, I'm inclined to believe it. Which leaves us with the matter of entrusting the crystals to her. He's right that this was Brandon's home. The others too. It's home to their most important memories. Not all of them good, maybe, but everyone they loved is laid to rest here. I agree. Neobear belongs here. Albert's crystals with Seto in this world. My mate would want it to be near. And Ray as well, I think. She'd want to be with her friends in the place that she loved. It seems we all agree. A toast then to the warriors of light. Oh, I guess we're drinking again. Drink up. I'm paying, and as bounty hunters, I expect you all to take proper advantage of that. I hate to disappoint, but I'm not much for alcohol. This juice looks nice, though. Ah, that's not... Wait, what? No way. No way is anyone that much of a lightweight. Come on. Well, he's dead. He's just dead, huh? How did you manage this? Twice the mess and half the time as normal patrons, I swear. I overheard your conversation, by the way. You agree with your friends? I'll tell you what, Silver. I'll do it if you can show me that, that little party trick of yours. No? These crystals are yours, Storykeeper. Their legacies are safe with me, you have my word. Thank you. Oh, here we go, baby! I can feel them. Their memories. You know, I don't want to ruin the moment, but when they started glowing, I was half expecting, like, a blade of light to just come out and just absolutely waste Silver. But no, they already spared her. That was like the big moment for Ardbert and his companions. Why? Why, damn it? You're all just like Ardbert. I betrayed you. I manipulated you. And still thought of me as a comrade, a friend, till the very end. Oh. Oh. Oh dear. I'm not sure which element is missing. And hi, Sickle, I'm doing okay. I'm doing alright. Ah, my head. I did warn you. Really not a very good influence on that poor boy. Yes, Ardbert's crystal is with Seto now. A week's worth of earnings! How is this possible? Mate, you did it. No one pressured you to do it. Ooh, can't remember the last time I was so drunk. Or any other times neither, but that ain't important. A successful sousing calls for a celebratory ale. Ay. Hey, where's Granson? Is Granson already left? Has he already gone back? You said wall right. Oh, there he is. This is why I don't drink. That's funny. Oh, that is quite funny. We finally managed to clean up after you lot, for the most part. Perhaps next time we should set down a tarpaulin. Nevertheless, I'm grateful to you for entrusting these to me. And as long as I live, I will stop sharing the true tale of the Warriors of Light. My friends. You do have another one, okay. Seeing the lot of you together like that reminds me of the old days. Ardbert and the rest, drinking and bickering and laughing. Drove each other half mad at times, but there was never any question of who'd be there when times got tough. Can't help but wonder, can I? If I'd had companions like that back home, would it have been saved? Did you not, though? Silver? I mean, isn't there something about Kukulin you could tell me about? Not the only one who tried, though each of us stood alone. Ah. Well, that is very sad. That was Unukalhai. Yes, we have met. Yes, he too was one would-be savior of the 13th, and was spared his fated demise by Ascian devices. We spoke once, after the destruction of our world. If the others could be saved, we thought, we yet had parts to play. What he's up to now that Elidibus is gone, though, I have no idea. Has he found himself a new role, as I have? Or does he feel as adrift as we were back then? Well, there's the third option, Silver, and that is that we keep him in a locked room, where we never speak to him or of him, and we occasionally slide like a plate of food under the door, and, yeah. Man, I feel bad. I feel so bad for Unukalhai. He's been done so dirty. If you encounter him in the source, I ask that you help him find a way forward, just as you have helped all of us here. Silver, I've been trying to for a long, long time. Oh. Okay. Finally, huh? Well, I mean, that's certainly something. Is it finally happening? Jeez, it's only been like 6 years. It's only been 6 years since Unukalhai was relevant. Oh, that poor lad. Four years? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Listen, let me hyperbolize, alright? Gonna come in and he's like, toenails are gonna be sticking out the end of his shoes, and gonna have a beard down to his waist. Hey, buddy. Well met, Ethys. What brings you here today? Urianger did apprise me of your travels in the first, and of what became of Elidibus at long last. I was not aware that you were working with Silver. I consider her a comrade of sorts, though our time together was short. Looking upon the twisted remains of the world you tried to save creates a bond that you can understand. At that time, we spoke of what we could hope to achieve with our newfound immortality, and of our regrets. Though I then believed what had happened to me to be the natural result of my age and inexperience, I now think this was merely the least painful explanation I could offer myself. Silver is right. We ought to have sought each other out before it was too late. I would not make the same mistake again. With the warring triad gone, I am indeed in need of new purpose. But to seek it alone is folly. He's even saying there, like, he hasn't done anything since the warring triad. Dude, that sucks. Really got done dirty. You know, now that we're in Shadowbringers, we've been going back to this, this theme, this precedent, I suppose, of side content being, like, required to unlock certain chapters of the MSQ. Which is something that you should have really wanted to steer away from after A Realm Reborn. But I think it's like, particularly when it's old stuff that's now like pretty easy to blast through, I think it's really so nice to be able to tie the whole story together. Like, it worked so well for Shadowbringers. And it gives me hope, maybe, that next expansion, at least the story mode of the Warring Triad will be, you know, required at some point. We'll see. I should like to speak with Silva, assuming such a thing is possible. As I mentioned, she understands how I feel more than any other. I mean, yeah, like, we can probably arrange that. You speak of the spirit vessel, correct? The means by which the Scions return to the source. If I understand the principles at work correctly, then it was a near miracle that you succeeded in bringing them back without killing them. If Elidibus is to be believed, however, my current state makes me something of an exception in matters of life and death. In which case, there is naught to be lost from making the attempt. Please, say you'll help. Yeah, alright, why not? Ethys, I'm still, like, recovering. I'm still not 100%. But I'm doing a lot better. And I'll be okay. I'll be alright. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Excuse me. I was just taking a sip of water there. Pray forgive the delay. Thou didst seek my counsel. Aye. The gifts granted young Unukalhai by Hydaelyn and the Ascians may prove a boon in easing the transition. However, I know not to what extent, nor what might befall thy spirit should it be lost betwixt worlds. Nevertheless, I know that this is my path forward. Please, Urianger. Very well. If thou believest that thou shalt find new purpose in the first, I will do all in my power to see thee safely there. Oh, that's so nice. We shall be but a few moments. Mayhap a worthy tome might keep thee occupied whilst I perform the necessary magics. Oh, this is really nice. I really like this. I love it how he talks about a worthy tome. A decent spot. Hey, maybe you should read some lore while you're at it. Well, I certainly was not expecting this, but this is really nice. I like the idea of bringing the surviving heroes of the 13th together. And again, maybe that'll play into a future expansion. Who knows? Or some future side content, anyway. It is done. Pray guard his vessel well. Unukalhai is as I and the other Scions were on the first. A soul without form. A soul with form, rather, yet no true body. Thus 'twas a simple matter to transfer him to the vessel using the selfsame process as before. So I wonder how he managed to, like, not, you know, fade away. Well, I guess he didn't have a body at all. There was no kind of, like, attachment there. He would have been using the Crystal of Light in the same way that Albert and his friends were. So it's not exactly the same, is it, Oriange? Withdraw his essence once across the rift ought to prove similarly straightforward. However, I fear that such an existence cannot sustain itself indefinitely. Look to the Ascians' example. Their persistent use of flesh and blood vessels surely hath cause. Interesting. Be it danger akin to that which would have befallen us had we not returned to the source, I know not. The time may come when the boy requireth a fully corporeal form. Should this come to pass, I trust that thou shalt come to his aid. At the moment, however, thou needst only convey the spirit vessel to Becklug. Farewell, both of thee. Yeah, now that is interesting, right? Because as we understood, the Ascians would use their crystals of darkness, which they would basically, I guess, use in like a similar way to the spirit vessel. Although it was more about making sure they, like, got safely back to the interdimensional rift without being torn apart. And Ardbert and his companions did a similar thing when they were coming to the source, and Unukalhai presumably as well, and Silver. But the fact that the Ascians do keep taking, you know, mortal vessels, keep possessing people. I mean, when we saw it originally, we, I guess, assumed that it was a, like a sort of an infiltration device, you know? You take the body of Thancred and suddenly you can, like, walk in and out of the Scion's headquarters at will. But, it seems like, from what Oriange is suggesting, they may actually need that. They may suffer some adverse effects. I mean, I would assume that it's probably the same as like a primal, right? Where you're just having to like constantly burn through ether to sustain a form when you don't have a body, right? And that, you know, Ascians have a lot of ether to burn through, but it's very, very difficult for them to replenish it in a sundered world. If I had to guess, that's probably what it would come down to, right? That would be my guess. Chavez, I did do the Story of Eden. Yes, I did. And we did a little lore segment on it during the World's Prog commentary, actually, which I think will be up on Frosty's channel pretty soon as a highlight. So I'm just kind of... I'm trying really hard not to get lost in thought here. I'm trying my best to sort of think aloud as we go. Hey, Lethe, what's up, mate? How you doing? Alright.
Back again, are you? I'm flattered that you've grown so fond of Norvrant. Or I would be, but you have that expression you lot always wear when you're about to ask me for something.
I most certainly am. Yeah, well, I didn't get that from it, Alexius. I got it that Laha Brea was weakened because he was body hopping so much, right? Is that he was constantly body hopping, right? Emmett's original form wasn't a Garlean, you know? Like, his ancient Ascian form didn't have the Garlean third eye. It was more that, I think it was more the opposite as anything else, right? Is that Emmett Selk would find one body and he'd stay in it for like 100 years until it died. Whereas Laha Brea, you know, as we've seen, is constantly jumping between bodies and constantly like burning through his ether. As a result, he's, you know, casting magics willy-nilly. In Tales from the Shadows, you know, Emmett talks about him basically burning the candle at both ends. This is a very, very similar metaphor of flame and how much he is alike to his creations like Ifrita and Phoenix. So that's kind of more what I got from it. Got a lot of sleep after the event. Yes, I've been getting a lot of sleep as well. Yeah, those of you on YouTube, the World First event, I don't know how many of you guys saw it live, but the World First race, I was part of the commentary team over on Frosty's channel, and it was a lot. It was a lot. It was almost as much of an endurance test, I think, for us as it was for the people who were racing in a lot of ways. But yeah, you guys should check out Frosty's YouTube channel, because I think there'll be highlights up there, including, as I've been mentioning, a little lore segment that I did about 27 hours in after I'd gone through normal mode. So check that out, huh?
Yes. You did what? After all the perils your friends faced and the labors we undertook to return them to your world, you brought another soul across the rift? Have you no common sense?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, I didn't read the item description of Unukalhai's spirit vessel, did I? Uh-oh. Should I have? I'm a little bit scattered, you have to forgive me.
There'd better be a very compelling reason for all of this, whelp. Removing spirit from vessel will be easy enough, I suppose. However, it requires a few moments without you breathing down my neck. Also, your friend is unlikely to materialize with clothes on, so I doubt they'll want an audience. Wait here. Perhaps take the opportunity for some self-reflection. Oh, very well. At least I tried. Find you at the Wandering Stairs directly, then.
Alright. How you doing, Morin? Actually, I've talked to you recently. I don't think you got anything new to say just now. Okay, Wandering Stairs, you said. Very good. Says not to tell people about it, so you become everyone's favorite method of interworld transfer. I love how quickly it's just become completely, like, banal and arbitrary, you know? I can't say I entirely blame Beklug, because it was kind of my thought, like, it can't be that easy already. It can't be that easy that quickly. You want me to speak with someone? Very well, you've done the same at my request often enough. How long are we meant to wait for this friend of yours? You have work to do, you know.
Ah, there you are. Hardly delay. Some time to acquire robes of an appropriate size.
Is this them? Oh, nice. Oh, yes, we updated his gear and everything. Silver. Unukalhai? Indeed, it is I. Trust me, I can hardly believe that I'm here myself. I should think so. When I sent Ethys to ask after you, it never occurred to me you might be able to cross the rift without Ascian aid. Lost your taste for subterfuge, I see. My choices and my reasons are my own now. If I am to have faith in them, in myself, I cannot hide who I am.
Speaking of which, Unukalhai was kind enough to fill me in, unlike some, and I was interested to hear of an erstwhile hero of the 13th serving libations at the Wandering Stairs. But that this hero should be you surpasses the scope of even my considerable imaginings.
Is that you at Groinus Licht? So long ago. Oh.
Not so long to me, or you, mayhap, though I'd thought I might at last put those days behind me. But perhaps this is for the best. They're not all bad memories. They never are. I should very much like to hear your story. You'd be willing to share it?
Well, it really does feel like we're putting together a First Shard Scions, doesn't it, right now? Oh, this is so cool. Our world, like this one, had its share of would-be heroes, myself and Unukalhai among them. Unlike your Warriors Elite, however, each was unaware of or unconcerned with our fellows. But to fight alone is to fall alone. The insidious ether of the Auracite used to seal primals corrupted once noble souls and turned them one by one to darkness. Right, so this does basically confer with what we learned from the Encyclopedia Eorzea about Cthulhu. Even those who resisted this fate could not escape its consequences. No surprise, perhaps, as we continued to struggle in solitude. We were spared by Asian machinations, but only as our world met its death. But what if that death could be undone? I was told that much of the first was consumed by light as our home was by darkness, yet balance and life are being restored to even that scoured land they call the empty. Again, this is what I was wondering about with Eden, right? Is that perhaps it could have been used to bring Ether back to the 13th, right? We could like pick up some of that Umbralia aspected Ether and just like dump it into the void. But it's also with what we were doing with Beklug and Alize in reversing the effects of the Sin-Eater transformation, right? Bringing people's ethereal polarity back into balance, and supposing that could be extended to people that have been tempered. It makes sense that at least, like, in theory, it could be possible to do something like that to Voidsent as well. It's just a question of whether they're too far gone, because we were helping people that are not transformed into Sin-Eaters, but were, like, on that path. There's so many, like, there's so many potential consequences to these conversations that we're having here. It's really interesting. If such a thing is possible, then why not the reverse? Can we not bring light back to the 13th? Even the Asians considered the 13th lost. Thus was it excluded from the rejoining. These are all things that we already knew. Jay, thank you very much. Thank you. Well, what say you? You have a way of making miracles happen? Yeah, I mean, the second option is true. The difference between the void and the empty, right, is that the empty is still full of ether. It's just ether that is been so far thrown into that umbral pole. The void, at least as far as we've been told, it lent so far to astral that it just exploded. It exploded out everywhere, if the umbral pole, if complete light is complete stillness, then the astral pole, complete darkness, is like infinite movement. Is all of the ether in that world just being blasted into infinity, scattered across space and time, if you will. And as a result, you know, we've been told by Koji directly that the void is devoid of ether. That the only ether in the void is that contained in the void sense and in, you know, a couple of scattered pieces of blasted rock and stuff here and there. So it's not just a case of reversing the polarity of that ether, it's the case of bringing ether back into it. So, but you know what? Let's be optimistic. Anything is possible. Wonder if there's a way to channel ether back into the 13th? Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking with Eden, right? And of course, that went in quite a different direction. Doesn't sound like an empty platitude coming from you. It's the same with Arbit. Oh? Arbit say something about the 13th?
Pardon the interruption, but might I suggest a closer examination of conditions on the 13th before we form any conclusions?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Wait. That's a very bad idea. That's okay. Hey, Becklug. He doesn't know about the 4th calamity. It's fine. He's not from Aeolus yet. He has no way of knowing that this is what caused the fall of Allig and the destruction of all civilization. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll just go and do a cheeky Zande real quick. Hey, No Soul, thank you so much, by the way. Thank you.
Have you lost your head? The Crystal Tower is not a toy, and you are not to use it to unleash great and terrible void sent upon this world.
There it is.
According to the records, there was a group who worked out how to open small void gates through which to summon minor fell beasts and the like. Magics of that nature should work, though I'm unsure if any with the knowledge of the original technique yet live.
Yeah, they do. There's one right over there. His name's Joshua, I mean Tainor. How fortunate! Let us inquire with this Tainor immediately.
Yes, you do that. In the meantime, I already have means for peering into the depths of the void without endangering ourselves. Use these to contact me when you've prepared to open the gate.
We shall. At the very first opportunity, I promise. G'day, Huvak. How you doing? Oh, man. This is a weird quest. It's like, hey, remember all of those like crazy powerful Deus Ex Machina that like caused world-ending events or took us like several patches to prepare and only worked by some absolute, you know, miracle. Let's just like have fun with them. Let's just play around. Fascinating place to spend one's days. I'd love to hear more about the patrons that have passed through. Alright, Tainor. We've got a very strange request for you. It's always a pleasure, Ethys. Aye. Who's your friend? I don't believe we've met. We have not. As I'm not from this world. Is that how he's going to introduce? Is that how he's going to introduce himself to everyone? You know? Is he just going to be like, ordering a coffee and like, hey, Unukalhai, not from this world. How you doing? Just remember, we were being so careful with that at the beginning of 5.0, you know? Grahar's like, now don't tell anyone. You completely like... It was almost like the the prime directive, wasn't it? Like, we will just completely destroy all culture here if you mention that there are other worlds. Jay, this is all we've done so far today. We'll be doing the MSQ right after this. The situation is rather complicated, but I hope that you might be willing to assist me. It's true that we had the means to open such portals. We call them hollows, and it was through one of these that I was drawn into the rift. So it is possible. Not with my power alone. I understand the greatness of your needs, and were Nielbert still at my side, I should be glad to make the attempt, but technique required the combined force of our energies in resonance. If one person's magics are insufficient, perhaps I could assist. While I can sense our ethereal reserves are roughly equivalent, and our physical similarities suggest that our energies are not incompatible. I fear you underestimate the difficulty of the task. Nielbert and I were born for this, and even so, it took us years before our efforts were perfectly in step. Unukalhai's like, excuse me, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I am literally the Warrior of Light. No, just me. I realize there's a lot to ask considering we've just met, but can we not at least attempt it? Yours is the only such magic I've ever heard of, and if we might actually be able to save my home... May I interject? You will recall that the crystals in my possession preserve the memories of the former Warriors of Light, including Nielbert's in ethereal form. Unukalhai here has a particular talent for interpreting the minds and motives of ethereal beings, primals. If I could apply the same principles to interpret Nielbert's crystal, an experiment worth trying at the least. I'll fetch it. Yes, it did come out eventually that we were from another world and, you know, all of that. It's like fairly common knowledge now, but I just think it's really interesting how how much that attitude has changed in a relatively short time. Speak to me, Nielbert. Do his memories of training with Tainor remain? They do. Such strong sentiment with them. Tainor, you should know that Nielbert desired nothing so much as to rescue you, his dearest friend. He held so fiercely to his memories of the technique you mastered together because he hoped they might be your salvation. Oh, Nielbert, we've already established this. I won't let them go to waste. I'll do what I can to see the 13th restored. Thank you. I won't pretend I understand the half of what's going on here. Just keep him from running headlong into anything too dangerous, will you? You know, when I was expecting something along the lines of this narrative direction from Eden and didn't get it, I was a little disappointed. I am so pleasantly surprised by this little side quest here. This is wonderful. Nothing to worry about so long as you're around, I'm sure. Wicked White, I nearly forgot. I've half a dozen orders to fill. You know where to find me when you've made progress with the gate. Okay. Oh, I'm so happy for Unukalhai. Ready when you are. Small talk to these jabronis out for me. That Unukalhai could stand to slow down a bit. Who hasn't been a touch reckless in pursuit of a good cause? Try to make sure he stays in one piece, eh? Okay. If you have no objection, Taynor, I would like to practice creating hollows as soon as possible. Of course, but not within the Crystarium. If we succeed in opening even the smallest window into that realm, it is likely that fell creatures will emerge. Follow me. Hell yeah. I'm surprised Sereg isn't coming with us, honestly. Okay, we just want to go out the gate, do we? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I really hope they do follow up on this in some way. Because, you know, we've really been half suspecting that restoring the void might even end up featuring in a future expansion at some point. And I guess the likelihood of that is something we can examine when we get through it. There you are. Please tell Taynor we can begin. Assuming no one ventures near, this location should be suitable. Unukalhai, when I give the word, begin channeling your ether. Nielbear's memories will have told you as much, but it is imperative that you maintain focus on our ethereal resonance throughout this process. With that in mind, Ethys, I ask that you take care of any creatures that emerge from the hollow. They should not be of a strength to challenge you, and it will allow us to adjust our attunement without risk. And let us begin. Come on, flow where I tell you to. Let me attempt to match your focus. It opened. It's small, but enough to let something through. Be ready, Ethys. It's, oh, okay. It's, which one was it? E5? No. E6? I don't remember. Seven. Yeah, that one. Yeah. That was far too much effort for such a small gate. On the contrary, given this was your first attempt, it's incredible that we succeeded at all. Now try synchronizing your breath with mine. Focus on the rhythm of the ethereal flow. Alright. I'm ready. Aha! A larger hollow! Of course, the void scent may be proportionately stronger. Hey! It's a lot of pomp and circumstance for for a little ad like that, isn't it? Where your breath ends, mine begins. Where your ether flows, mine follows. Together. Unbelievable. Full attunement so soon? Be ready, Ethys. Wait, are we about to find out that these two jabronis are each other's shardbits? No, that couldn't be. They couldn't be. That would be wild. I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility. I'll talk to Tainor. Like talking to an old friend. Yes, that's what it's like. Oh, this is too adorable. This is too adorable. And by the way, yes, I do use, where is it? Stormshade. And I just use the defaults for these shaders that you can see there. In that order. So I'll let you take a quick screenshot of that if you like. I don't recall if we had a command for it or not. I've been meaning to make one. So there you go. I'll have to make a note to do that. I think I've grasped the principle now. I need to remember the feeling for next time. I must feel as if I do remember it. Your ether is familiar somehow. That's impossible, of course. Yeah, I wonder. I suppose it's possible that Unukalhai and Neilbert are shards of each other as well. Makes sense, you know, given that they were both warriors of light. But it doesn't seem like there's necessarily any rhyme or reason to the people that are given the echo. You know? Like, last expansion, I would have said like, oh, well, you know, Tainor doesn't have the echo, so it wouldn't make sense that they're shards of each other. But now we have a better understanding of how the echo works and how it's given. Well, honestly, I don't even know if Tainor does. Maybe Tainor does have the echo now. Actually, a lot of people were awakened, so it's hard to say. Hard to say. A bounty of hunters. In fact, I don't know. Porque no los dos. Now that Tainor and I are capable of performing the necessary magics, I should like to make an attempt investigating conditions on the 13th. Might I trouble you to contact Beklug?
Ethys, are you there? I hope you've not lost focus on the void problem. I have an exciting breakthrough to share. A work of Porksy-related genius, if I do say so myself.
Beklug, excellent timing. We've made considerable progress as well, and ready to open a portal when you are.
Well then, say we meet at Laxon Loft forthwith. It's far enough from any major etherites as to avoid the sort of ethereal interference that would be a hindrance to our observations of the void.
Very well. We will see you at this Laxon Loft anon, as soon as I can locate it. I'll lead the way. I too am eager to be one step nearer to our goal. You don't mind if I think of it as our goal, do you? This is adorable. I would be honored. Thank you, Tainor. Oh, man, this is exactly what Unukalhai deserves. This makes me so happy. He's been done dirty for such a long time. Ah, it's like a mini Reen Gaia friendship. It really is, isn't it? It's so pure. I don't know. I assume Rob will return to our a Realm Reborn revamp at some point. He's definitely busy with Shadowlands, and you know what? I need to jump into Shadowlands at some point in the near future as well, because I did make a promise. I did indeed make a promise. Yeah. Yeah, this is a long time coming for Unukalhai, isn't it? A long time coming. Hey, Miri, thank you so much for 7 months. Thank you. Really appreciate that. I can still scarce believe how quickly we've progressed. It's almost as if we've been friends all along. God, you two. Too much. It appears Backlog has yet to arrive. Patience, Unukalhai. He's definitely developed a habit of speaking to himself as well, hasn't he? In the third person.
I hope you weren't waiting too long.
What? You think I didn't... you didn't think I'd want to see this for myself? The 13th was my home too, if you recall.
Quite. Though, as I explained, we won't be the ones doing the seeing, strictly speaking. This familiar will gather all the information we need, assuming you two can create a hollow for it to pass through.
Yeah, again, like, you guys will remember what happened, to certain friends of ours when they spent more than a couple of minutes in the world of darkness.
That would do nicely. Now fly, my Porksy, fly!
Yeah, the way they were talking about it, I was kind of half expecting that we'd have a short single-player instance of ourselves in the void with this party. I guess that's not happening. Oh well.
Well, it's made it in.
Something is coming out. Yes, we have already been to the void. Yes, we have. Briefly. Oh my. Orksy? Is that Forgal? The hell? Forgal, what are you doing? Get back in there. We've had this conversation already, Forgal.
Why, that is an ugly one, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. Alright. Okay. Alright, round 2. I hope it is literally Forgal. That would be so cool. There are more pressing matters at hand. I'm slap Forgal again. Valen! It's not even Forgal. Cowards. Those bloody cowards. The same model NM in Hydatus? Is Dvalin in Hydatus? Is it the same name? Boss music for that is a little bit underwhelming, isn't it? What's the eye level requirement for this quest? Oh.
Thank you for clearing that up. The Porksy ought to be back any moment now. Well, I can't sense it. Odd.
Was that the Porksy? Did the Porksy get transformed that quickly? Perhaps it's lost. If Ethys created an etheric beacon as he did for me, it might find its way back more easily.
That may work. Give it a go.
Yes, Huvak, yes. Thank you for the notes. I am familiar with Dvalin.
Keep at it. Aha! A distinctly Porksy-like presence.
I see the snout.
There we are. Now close that hollow before anything follows.
Oh, it's called Goldemar in Hiatus. I see.
I believe it has performed its task thoroughly as instructed. With Porksy. With luck, its observations may indeed lead us to a means of driving the darkness from the 13th. However, I will need to review its findings in detail before I can tell you more. It could take years to deduce a suitable solution.
I admit that I am impatient to find a way forward, but I've endured millennia with half as much hope as I have now. If I must wait, then that is what I shall do. Like Ethys and your Warriors of Light, I will persevere until my world is safe once more. That is what a hero does. Did he just call himself a hero? I don't think you get to do that, Unukalhai. I think you'll make a good one. You as well. If that's the end of the excitement for the time being, we should head back to the Wandering Stairs. Clear out that pall of anxiety Serrig is spreading all over the place. I mean, that has got to be setting up for something, right? I think that having a major side quest or even, you know, an expansion MSQ dedicated to the restoration of the Void is still definitely on the cards. But I also agree that it would be very, very strange for this quest to be a prerequisite for that, given that it requires you to have a job of every role at level 80, and have done all of those role quests, and also have done the Warring Triad. It's a lot of prerequisites. So if we do get such a quest or such an expansion, it's may not even prominently feature these characters. It may just give us like some Easter eggs for people that have done all this stuff. But I don't know. I will continue to hope, because I would love that so much. 6.0 post-roll quests? That'd be great. I'd be down for that. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder. Ah, you've returned hale and whole. Not that I had any doubt you would, of course. And how did your search of the Hollow go? We may have the information we need to save the 13th. Maybe some time. Years, maybe, until we can be certain. I will be here for as long as it takes. Alright, so Unukalhai has gone from standing around in one room to standing around in... I mean, it's a better place to stand around in, you know. He's got a nice courtyard, he's got the bar here, he's got a friend. Certainly an upgrade, but, you know, we'll see him in another 5 years. On that subject, I've been thinking. Would you be interested in joining us? It's a bounty hunter, I mean. Serig and I hunt down sin eaters and other threats. The first was saved, but it remains far from safe. You could help us protect the people here. I think I would quite like that. Protecting people. If I can do that, then perhaps I will find the strength I need when the time comes. Strength, you say? Sounds like you could use a dwarf with a massive hammer. Wow, this really does feel like the establishment of the Vrantic Scions, doesn't it? I may have shared the tale of the 13th with a few other noted hunters. I know what it feels like to fight for something you've already lost. The need to find a way to make it right. And I know that it's not easy to fight on your own, inconvenient as that little truth may be. Thus, a new team is born. This calls for a toast. No, for my money, Arenvold and Horibalder and Colton A are all part of B team. Yeah. And Astinian now, I guess. Although, who knows, maybe Astinian's being promoted to the A team. We'll have to see after the 5.4 MSQ, I suppose. I don't object. As long as this lot carries their weight. I'm a bounty hunter, not a Fuka herder. Yeah, well, you know, Gyot's a dwarf. Of course their voice is deep. Hori Boulder's brother. Yeah, Hori Pebble. Yeah. Thank you so much, all of you. I'd be honored to fight at your side. Oh, Unukalhai, I'm so happy for you. Man. It's just so funny how shafted he got by the Scions in Mordona, and these ones are just like, yeah, like, why didn't you actually join our team and, like, do something? You're not gonna lock me in the closet? Oh my god, it's a dream come true. I went from Elidibus's closet to Minfilia's closet, and... Oh. So good, so good. Wubs, I'll be checking both before and after. I shall do my best to justify the faith you have shown in me, and to save my home. Someday, I hope we can visit it together. Yeah, Unukalhai, just queue for Alliance Roulette for me. And, you basically got a 1 in 3 chance. Oh, that was fantastic! Friends to the end. Oh, wait, where is he? Is he already... Oh, there he is. Okay, good. Whew. I'm a little worried there. Okay. Alright. Nothing new for you either. Yeah, you know what? Tell me about Unukalhai. How's Unukalhai doing? As I mentioned, we never met in our previous lives. Or should I say, while we were properly alive? This never gets less confusing. In any case, we each fought to protect the 13th, but alone as we were, I can hardly say I know the details of his efforts, only the regrets that we shared after. It wasn't too long before we went our separate ways to play our separate parts, but here we are again. One last chance to walk the noble path together. Who can say? Oh, that's really nice. I like that. That's beautiful. And I like his new outfit as well. I like his new getup. Man, finally, some justice for Unukalhai. How's that? Well, those of you on YouTube, thank you very, very much for watching. It's my first time back in the seat, back recording for a hot minute. So hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments about the potential of continuing this story and actually restoring the void. You know, perhaps as a major side quest or a raid series, or you know, dare we hope even an MSQ storyline in the future, years in the future, as Unukalhai and Beklug have been saying, huh? Well, we've got that. I am going to be recording the MSQ now, right now. So that'll be up in, you know, a day or two. So I hope you guys enjoy that as well. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's your Twitch. We are going to be carrying on immediately, so don't go anywhere. Yeah, again, everyone on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next thing, whatever that is. Goodbye.